Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So what we're going to go through today is the fragrance house Orto Parisi, an Italian house by master perfumer Alessandro Gualtieri. So I've heard a lot about this house over the last couple of years by Marcello, the niche fragrance collector. Shout out, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so, and subscribe to mine for that matter. So what I have today is the full library without Quium. I do believe that's how you pronounce it. I'll put it here. So we're just going to go through and I'm going to rank them from 9 to 1. I've been sampling on skin for 1 to 2 weeks now, and I got the full set, all of the samples from Noah here in Melbourne, the great team there that sent this one out, so I could get behind the, get involved with the brand and discover all of them for myself, and now I'm just going to give you my first thoughts. So hope you enjoy this one. Stick around. Let's get started. Now, before I start, I just want to repeat again. So this is what I felt and what I smelt and I discovered when it was on my skin. Now, I prefer a more masculine leading fragrance. I do have some unisex ones that I wear, but I don't stray too far, anything that's too feminine. That's not something that I want to smell like. And to be perfectly frank, my skin doesn't mix well, you know, with that feminine leaning. So at number 9, coming in, not to say that it's not a nice fragrance, was Seminalis. Now this one was very musky, very full of life actually. It's not too dull. It actually gives off real, you know, a mature woman vibe. You know, not an old woman vibe, but definitely a, you know, a female leaning fragrance. It's got some soft florals in there, being your white florals, a little bit of rose in there, a little bit of purple, but look, it's lovely on card. On myself, it came off really musky and had that real, you know, that real thick, real sharp floral that, you know, doesn't really sit well on my skin, that I couldn't really do anything with. But it is lovely. I would recommend that to any female that, you know, is into niche perfumery to check out. So that is number 9, Seminalis. Okay, and now at number 8. Okay, so definitely a masculine fragrance. So this is Sturkis. So this is, you know, it's got a lot of oud in there, some very deep and strong woods through there. Definitely masculine. On my skin, it didn't really play that well. I mean, it's got those leather tones, bit oudy, it's a little bit dirty as well. I mean, it's a very earthy fragrance, so definitely masculine. Not too sure if a woman would want to smell like this, but it's it didn't stick too long. The longevity wasn't too good, but it didn't really have enough characteristics for me to really say, look, this is a great fragrance. But look, if you like oud and leather, do check it out, but not for me, unfortunately. So that is number 8, that's Sturkis. All right, now coming in at number 7, we have Balconera. Okay, so for this one, yes, it's got some boozy qualities to this one. This one is your chocolate. It goes along those gourmand, those, you know, that direction, but it's more of a liqueur chocolate is what I got on my skin. Like it didn't last too long. It was nice enough, but really couldn't get much out of it as far as the longevity goes and like the presence. Like I thought that it's a little bit colder here in Melbourne, so I thought something like this would hold a little bit more and have a little bit more boldness and a bit more body. But unfortunately, it didn't for me on my skin. Maybe my skin's not oily enough. But look, it is lovely. But yeah, but obviously it's not in the top rank of the Orto Parisi house as far as my opinion goes. So that's number 7, Balconera. All right, and coming in at number 6. Now this was surprising that it wasn't higher than what it actually was. So at number 6, Bergamasque. Now, for me, look, I've heard a lot of people say that they love this one for summer. Yes, it's nice. For me, it's got some, you know, some nice citrusy qualities, but for me, there's just this dirtiness on the back that didn't make it this really nice and bright and uplifting fragrance. So, look, it's okay, and it's got like some zesty parts to it. I pick up a lot more orange in this one. I know that bergamot can be that hybrid between a lemon and an orange, but this one, for me, it leans on that orange, you know, that orange peel. So it's okay, but look, not for me, unfortunately. But yeah, look at number 6, that is Burger Mask. All right, so getting interesting now. So we're going into, so number 5 on my rank. Really enjoyed this fragrance. So this is Brutus. So for me, lovely. So you've got a nice, nice sort of juicy and, you know, sort of citrusy opening, but then you've got that dry woods, and I know that there's patchouli in this, and that really balances lovely. What I like on the back end, there's something like I think there's sort of like a nutmeg or a cinnamon just sitting there in the back. It reminds me of another fragrance that I've got. So very manly, very masculine edges to it. But yeah, Brutus, I happen to you know, really enjoy it. It stayed on my skin for a fair while, and this one I reckon could be very versatile. I reckon you could go either season with this one as an everyday, definitely. So that was Brutus, so that comes in at number 5. All right, getting interesting now. So at number 4 on my rank, number 4 was Resvelium. So very, very nice. Very sparkly, this one. So citrusy, sparkly. I reckon definitely your spring and summer. Not too much in the colder weather, but as a warmer weather fragrance, be it outdoor, be it indoor. Very, very nice during the day. So you know, like your fruits are in there, I know, but it's not as like zesty. It's not as like real, you know, that real like pulpy fruit. But it's very light the way that it sits on the skin. So for that one, could really lean unisex, I think, but that is number 4, that is Resvelium. All right, so we're down to our final 3. Now, I'm not going to put the last 3 on cards. I've actually put them on skin because I really enjoyed these 3 fragrances. So coming in at number 3. Now, number 3 and number 2, they're pretty much dead even, okay? But just for the sake of the video, at number 3 is going to be Toroni. Okay, so a very nice ambery, woody. For me, I pick up some leathers in there. I'm an absolute sucker. If you give me a leather fragrance that's got some oud and what I pick up is a little bit of red fruit, forget it. I'll absolutely love it. So that's what I get from Toroni. There's some smokiness in the background that sets it apart. So that, you know, really sort of leans it that way into that masculine place, but very good for a night out. Not so much during the day, but definitely in this cooler weather that we've got in Melbourne. I'd love to really wear this a lot through the colder weather. So that is number 3, being Toroni. Right, and coming in at number 2, we're going to have Veride. I heard something ridiculous. Someone said that this one smells like, you know, my uncle's garden or my grandfather's garden. This does not smell like that at all. This is a really refined gentleman's aromatic. Perfect. Just love this one. You could wear this 365 days a year. I reckon it'd be perfect in an office setting, even outdoors. I remember I actually wore it to the driving range. I was like, this is actually a perfect golfing fragrance if there ever was one. So Veride, very mature, very refined, you know, very put together gentleman is definitely wearing Veride. So definitely, you know, recommend that to all the gents out there. Okay, and coming in at number 1, it's the only one left. Now, when I say it was number 1, this was number 1 by a fair while, a fair amount. Like, it wasn't like tossing up between a few, and it's Megamar or Megamares. So this one, oh, it's got all of these facets jumping up. Its presence is fantastic. Its longevity is great. It's, you know, where I was walking around, I kept getting, you know, sort of whiffs of it throughout the day, and I'll put this on at about 7 a.m. in the morning. It was 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I could still smell it. So it's got this beautiful balance of sweet and salty. It's solar. It's got presence, but definitely again, you could probably wear it for all 4 seasons. Definitely here in Melbourne, we get 4 seasons across a week, but I reckon definitely in the warmer weather would just be perfect. It sits in the air really well, and it just, you know, really gives you a nice scent bubble and a nice fragrance trail. So for me, number 1 is Megamar. Absolutely love that. So yeah, look. Hope you enjoy that, everyone. You know, feel free to you know, put your comments. Let me know which ones are really your favourites and that sort of thing. But thanks very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next Sense by Jace video.